Tomáš Zídek, I'm back. For more content, check out my website tomaszidek.com.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bang! Coaching? What is that? Who knows? In today's episode, I will explain to you what is the definition of coaching, who defines it, and what are the main benefits of this approach. And what is the definition of coaching? An international coach federation, the biggest organization of coaches, defines coaching as partnering with clients in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. And I always encourage everyone to seek a coach that is ICF certified. Ask your coach what is her certification and if it is accredited by ICF. Always look for educated coaches, always look for coaches that went through the thorough process of getting a certification. And what are the benefits of coaching? We have already said that coaching doesn't include direct transfer of information, that the coach doesn't advise. This enables you to rely on yourself and to seek the answers inside yourself. Let's think about the advising for a moment. What is wrong with advising? Why we do not want to advise as coaches? Well, one of the main reasons is that people usually do not follow advices. Advice doesn't fit, or the advice is not accepted. But why people do not follow advice even when the advice is a good one? Isn't that a mystery? Well, not that much. When you think about advising, when you advise someone, the advice comes externally. From a systems perspective, we can consider many different things a system. You are a system, I am a system, a company is a system, a team is a system, a whole nation is a system, the whole globe is a system. You have a digestive system. From a system perspective, every system has a one thing which is called resiliency. Being resilient means that every system is trying to keep its current state. When you think about a virus, when a virus enters your system, a natural reaction of your body is to get rid of the virus, because the virus is something external. It doesn't belong to the system. When you think about advice from this perspective, it's really similar. You are a system and you function in a specific, certain way. When someone is giving advice, the advice is an external thing that is trying to affect the system. The system will defend itself. The system will try to keep the things as they are. Therefore, when we are advising, something external comes into the system and it creates resistance because the advice wants to change the system. The system doesn't want to be changed. The second thing is that when someone is advising you, he is treating you as the one who doesn't know as much as he knows. He is positioning himself in the role of an expert. I know, you do not know, and let me tell you what's the better way. We naturally do not like to be in such a position, so advising is very tricky and usually is not well accepted. The second very common thing with advices is that even though the advice is good, even though the advice is accepted, the advice just doesn't fit the context. I think you have already experienced numerous times when someone gave you advice, but the advice was good, but it just didn't fit. For example, someone has lost weight cycling, but you hate cycling. So even though the advice is good and it worked, even if it's useful, it just doesn't fit your context. Maybe you do not have a bike. The same applies to other situations. Someone is telling you that you should do this. Well, it might work for him, but it doesn't work for you. The question right now is, what's the better way? And I tell you, it's coaching. Coaching is respectful. An ICF certified coach will always respect the client. ICF certified coach will always give control over the process. What do we want to talk about? How do you want to approach this topic? Where would you like to go next? Those are questions that you can expect from an ICF certified coach. Very often I hear junior coaches saying something like, well, I need to make them go into this direction. I need to make them change. Well, this is not respectful and this is not coaching, at least not according to the ICF standards. Coaching needs to be respectful. Coaching is not there to change people. If people want to change, they will change. Coaching is there to provide a thought-provoking conversation. If people want to take something out of the conversation, they will take it. They will make their own decisions. Stop controlling people. Stop manipulating people. Stop forcing people to do what you want. Coaching also amplifies leadership. It happens very often that people turn to us for advice, even though we explain to them that coaching is not about advising, that it's very different from mentoring. Still, people look for advice. Coach will never create this dependency. Coach will never directly share her advice. For one thing, they do not know. I do not understand the situation. I do not understand yourself. I do not understand the context. And also another thing, even though if I would understand, I believe you know better. You have more information about your life. An ICF coach will always help you by asking the right questions to think about what is the solution for you. In this way, you are not creating dependency on someone more experienced. You are building your true inner leadership. And probably the most important thing is that coaching brings value. Well, how do I know? Let me explain to you. At the beginning of every coaching conversation, according to the ICF standards, coach should seek to understand what are the desired outcomes out of the coaching conversation. Coach will ask you questions like, how would you know that today's conversation was useful? How would you know that this was time well spent? What is it that you would like to take out of this conversation? What difference would it make to you? How would you know that you have it? These questions will help you and the coach understand what is your goal for the conversation. If the goal is met, then you've received value. An experienced coach will always check at the end of the conversation what was the value that you've received. And if it happens, and that can happen, that a client says, I have not received any value, this was not valuable to me, that can happen. A coach will always try to understand what needs to be adjusted to receive value next time. If this happens 2 times, 3 times, an experienced coach will open up a discussion with the client if it makes sense to continue the coaching relationship. And now we know what coaching is. In the next episode, I will talk about what is solution-focused coaching, what is specific about this approach. Have you enjoyed today's show the same way I did? Then hit the subscribe!